Bomberman, packed with shields, rocket packs, and Mii support. Though it's still unclear whether all this Bomberman media is for Hudson's announced WiiWare title or for a disc-based retail release, we're not going to enjoy these screenshots any less because of the doubts. Already we spotted new game-changing items, rocket packs and shields. Presumably, the rocket pack allows you to hover over the arena until you find a safe landing spot. If you're smart, however, you'd use the rocket pack to fly the heck away from the battlefield and its crazed Bomberman, escaping towards a distant, bombless country. Bomberman will consist of a story mode, battle mode, and My First Bomberman mode, the latter of which teaches the game's basics and new weapons with a series of lessons. This 39-stage story mode charges you with the quest of saving your system's Miis, with the battle mode support as multiplayer arena where you're familiar with, except with the 8-player support, Nintendo Wi-Fi connection matches, and online leaderboards. Sounds like a solid game. The only detail we're wary of the Wii Remote features. Can you use items by shaking the controller? The Hulk bashes his way onto the Wii. And no, we're not talking about the Hulk Hogan, but the Incredible Hulk. When a big Hollywood movie involving a comic book character is in the works, it's often not long before a video game medium is announced. A movie based on the Hulk is coming to Hollywood for the second time in 5 years, so we weren't surprised when Sega announced they'd be bringing a game based on the Incredible Hulk movie to all current-gen consoles. Marvel's Less Than Jolly Green Giant will be hitting Wii's and other systems this June to coincide with the movie's release. It'll feature an open-world New York City environment letting you unleash your destruction upon Manhattan, while of course saving Manhattan from destruction. If you ask us, the whole idea of going on a rampage and destroying the city as a human-turned-monster reminds us all, well, rampage. The Manhunt is back on in the UK. Well, for those of you in the UK who wanted to enjoy the game from Rockstar, your time will come. Even with all the fuss about the game going down in the UK, the BBFC's decision to ban the game in the country has somewhat been overturned by the VAC, Video Appeals Committee, who have decided to fix an age 18 certificate to the title, meaning you have to be able to purchase it. Although we've really heard nothing but bad things about Manhunt 2, surely some of you in the UK are happy to hear about this new state of affairs involving the game. Not like it matters, because thanks to the freeloader, you could just import the game from America. Another week in Japan. Hardware and software numbers from March 3rd to March 9th. To most of us, Metroid 3 corruption is old news. The US has had it since last summer, and even Europe has been enjoying the game for a few months now. It only debuted in Japan last week, though we were happily surprised to see it made the top 5. It only sold 32 copies in its first week, but that's still not too shabby for a Metroid game in Japan. Hopefully, the game will have some legs and not plunge off the charts after its first week, like many other FPSs do. As for our other software, the Wii didn't have too many games in the top 30, only 8 in fact, yet it was still the second most represented game system on the charts. With the exception of the aforementioned Metroid, in everyone's general knowledge, the Wii's top games have consistently stuck around for at least a few weeks. In other news, Smash Bros. Once again failed to take the first place spot. The game beat out last week's chart champ, the new Gundam for the PS2, but followed behind the newly released Yakuza 3. In hardware, the Wii claimed the top spot once again, as Japan is so clearly over the mint green PSP. That was so 5 minutes ago. You can check out the hardware and software numbers for last week in Japan after the break. We recommend that you do so. Wii Warm-Up, the official Nintendo seal of quality. You may or may not know that Nintendo no longer subjects games to the company's seal of quality. Do you think that's a good or bad thing? Would you rather have the seal of quality be enforced in order to prevent some of the shelware that we've been in the flood on the way? Or do you think it wouldn't make much of a difference? After all, even with Nintendo's seal, was with more than enough bad games in existence. So which is it, seal or no seal? Please comment. Wii Warm-Up, the Subspace of Mystery. Many of you have been playing Brawl this week, and we've been hearing that the Subspace of Mystery is on the meh side of the scale. Jason Soprano, over at the MTV Multiplayer, recently argued that the Subspace of Mystery should get its own sequel. Just think about it. A game entirely devoted to a one-player or co-op adventure, using some of the most beloved characters in video game history. If the Subspace of Mystery had been Sakuri's or someone else's whole focus, we better be a lot more fine-tuned. So what you say? Should the Subspace of Mystery get its own sequel? Even if you haven't played Brawl, do you think something like that would be a good idea? Share your thoughts with comments, people. crystal brawl for a tournament winner. Daniel Jung probably already has a way, since he had enough interest in Super Smash Bros. Brawl, to attend and then win the tournament, but he's about to have another one this time, with stuff glued to it. As a prize for his victory in the New York City finals of Nintendo's Brawl Tournament, Daniel will soon be awarded this Crystal Bedazzled Ray, designed by CrystalIcing.com. It features Mario against a silver background on one side, and Bowser against a blue background on the other side. It was somebody's job to form the shape of Bowser out of the Swarovski crystals and glue that shape onto the side of a Wii. That strikes us as pretty surreal, although our job is to write about act of gluing a Bowser-shaped constellation of crystals onto a Wii.